Hey, hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending on the place you are at right now. And welcome to our webinar on why virtual meeting room is the future of video conferencing. This is going to be the future exactly. And in a short while, you'll get to know why. Actually, video conferencing is a very exciting space to be in, and it's going through an exciting time. It's a very wide spectrum. On the one hand, there are players like Skype, Hangout, which are very easy to use but are not generally considered as enterprise grade. While on the other end, there are giant mammoth boardroom solutions which are very difficult to move. What I mean to say are inflexible and are not easy to scale. So there exists a wide gap or a world in between. The world which requires an easy to use video conferencing solution but which delivers a high definition video calls. And this is a space where a solution like virtual meeting room comes into picture. This is the space actually which is seeing a disruption because of the advent of virtual meeting room. And that's exactly what Girish is going to cover in this webinar. So first of all, thank you everyone for taking your time out and attending and for attending this webinar. So as I said, Girish and I would be taking you through this ride. Uh, um, you know me, I'm a marketeer at TaraSpan. I handle the entire gamut of marketing here, while Girish is the product specialist for our unified collaboration suite. So he's the collaboration guy. He is an expert in designing enterprise level UC solutions. Well, obviously that includes complex video conferencing solutions which can be deployed in premise or on cloud. Again, IP PBX solutions which again can be deployed in cloud or in premise, and uh, and contact center solutions. And he comes with a deep experience of designing all sort of video conferencing solutions, ranging from boardroom solutions to VMR based solutions, and at organization across verticals. So, so today he's going to take us through VMR. I'm not going to spend much time on that. So he'll be the guy who will make us understand what VMR is. Before we start, a short brief about what TaraSpan is for uninitiated. Uh, TaraSpan, as you can see, is a technology company, some multinational technology company with offices around North America, Europe, and India. We offer technology solutions in an area of collaboration, e-learning, and RF infrastructure to enterprises here in India of all sizes. We take care of end-to-end delivery from solution designing to post-sale support ourselves, and basically we enhance the productivity of enterprises, and that's what our customers say about us. And we enjoy the patronage of more than 100 enterprise level customers here in India. So that's briefly about TaraSpan and us, and so off to you, Girish.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about the future of video conferencing, that is virtual meeting room. I'll start with what is a VMR. As its name defines itself, the virtual meeting room, a room hosted in somewhere in cloud, and it's also there is a several deployment option available for that we'll cover later. First we'll go to the history of the video conferencing. A virtual meeting room is a collaboration center in cloud. You just need a meeting address URI. It's very much like a physical meeting room, but with added advantage you will get in a virtual meeting room. Before moving to virtual meeting room in detail, a quick flashback of video conferencing. A history of a video conferencing was very much interesting. History of video conferencing system start with invention of televisions, because display is a key part of a video conferencing. It was a very simple system that consisted of two closed circuit television system connected by a simple cable. In fact, NASA used two radio frequency, ultra high frequency and very high frequency link in both the direction. So that was the first video conferencing used worldwide. Video conferencing was first introduced in World Grand Fair held in New York in 1970. AT&T launched picture phone commercially, but it was pretty much expensive. The protocol like network video protocol, packet video protocol, both helped the maturation of video conferencing system. Unfortunately, both stayed in a lab or private corporate usage. It was never released for the commercial use. In 1976, Nippon Telegraph and Telephone established a video conferencing between Tokyo and Osaka. That is, we are talking about the point-to-point video conferencing only. That time, point-to multi-point conferencing was not in picture. So that was only point-to-point video conferencing. In 1982, IBM Japan took video conferencing one step further and established a 48,000 BPS to link up with IBM internal video conferencing link in USA for weekly business meeting. In later 80s, if we talk about, VC was available for commercial use. Several corporates and US military was the early adopter, but the price was huge for that time, and they charge around 1,000 of USD per minute basis. In 1990, we saw the advancement and development of video conferencing system due to many factors, including the technical advance in Internet protocol. Internet protocol was in early stage of that time, and more efficient video compression technology was available, were developed that would permit desktop or PC-based video conferencing. In 1991, IBM introduced the first PC-based video conferencing system named Pictel. So Pictel was the first PC-based video conferencing system. After that, ITU come into the picture. ITU standard set a pace for video conferencing. We'll go for some key highlight. The ITU established the standards like H.263. We all know about the video conferencing standard. H.263 is a very old standard. Then nowadays H.264 is a very common standard. H.323 among other standards were revised and updated in 1998. In 1996, Microsoft introduced net meeting with video. Again in 1999, net meeting come out with media gateway control protocol. We are very familiar with the MGCP protocol. So that is a media gateway control protocol. In early 2000, Samsung released the MPEG-4 streaming 3G video mobile. The mobile era was begun that time. Microsoft made a bold move by announcing in 2001 that its Windows XP Messenger would support SIP protocol. By the end of 2004, S.264 protocol were launched. So S.264, all the video conferencing, either it's a software-based video conferencing or hardware-based video conferencing that work around on the S.264 protocol very commonly. A technology changed rapidly after 2004. Video conferencing evolved with major changes in technology like bandwidth and all. By 2003, high-speed internet access became widely available at very reasonable cost. Before that, cost of the bandwidth was huge. Companies cannot afford very easily. Even individual cannot afford. The cost of video capture and display technology also decreased, like cameras, display, monitors and all. The general public was able to afford web cameras that time. Vertical like education, healthcare, defense, etc. start using video conferencing for their services. Later in 2004, Wired Software became the first company to incorporate multi-point video conferencing. After that, multi-party video conferencing come into the picture, and that was a mature product that time, and companies were adopting the multi-party video conferencing. In 2008, cloud-based video conferencing introduced. The major development happened in around 2012 that HTML5 introduced with voice and video and content. What is a virtual meeting room? We talk about the history of video conferencing. We understand that there were several parts of the video conferencing involved, like hardware-based video conferencing, software-based video conferencing, point-to-point video conferencing, point to multi-point video conferencing. After the introduction of the HTML5, it gives flexibility to use video conferencing from any device. So it was a key change actually into the video conferencing world. What is a virtual meeting room? What functionality it allow to us? It's allow HD video conferencing just like a boardroom meeting platform. You can be in your desk, you can be in your home, you can be in a meeting doing video conferencing or web conferencing by Cisco, WebEx, Microsoft Link, etc. or Skype. You can even join the video conferencing through the VMR. It is an enterprise level secure system. It supports IPv6, FIPS compliant encryption algorithm, and DSCP. Server to server connection is built on secured VPN, AD integration, LDAP, NTP, SNMP, V2C, and V3, 128-bit AES and DTLS encryption is behind the virtual meeting room. So it is very secure. All that is hosted anywhere. Any-to-any collaboration and conferencing. That is a very key point, any-to-any collaboration and conferencing. What major changes we were facing during the hardware-based MCU's time or the software-based MCU time? So why software-based MCU now preferable over the hardware-based MCU? Actually, there was a huge system for point-to-point and point-to-multi-point system. A capex is very important thing for a corporate where if you are going for a multi-party video conference, you have to invest huge on the MCUs. So VMR is very helpful to save the cost when you go for a software-based MCU. Quickly and simply enable any new and old H.323 or SIP-based video solution to seamlessly connect it to any like Skype for business, Link, web browser, audio, and other conferencing. You have option to do video call, you have option to do audio only call. You have multiple options available with VMR. Work with any off-the-shelf hardware. Now we are talking about the deployment. Now it is an out-of-box solution where you can deploy in any hardware. Either it's existing hardware hosted in your data center, or any server present with you. There is no proprietary hardware for this as it was with the hardware-based MCU. Run on any off-the-shelf x86 Intel-based server in the traditional IT infrastructure and makes deployment and management simple and easy. So it makes IT guys' life very easy. Easy to use, easy to adopt. Employees work in an organization, they want to use system the way they are used to. Generally, people are avoid a very complex system. In hardware-based MCU system, it's a scheduled kind of conference always. Whenever, if as an employee, I want to do conference with my client, so I need to check the availability of the room first. If room is not available that time, I will not be able to do conference with my client. Again, if my IT guy is on leave, again I am in trouble. I will not able to do conference with the tedious tasks of remote and setting up a conference. So virtual meeting room provide you a flexibility, easy to use, easy to adapt. Generation is very used to for new communication tools which help them to connect or collaborate any time, anywhere. For them, scheduled call are out of trend now. The next point is provide cost-effective video for everyone. The cost was a very important part for the video conferencing because it's not in the day-to-day business. A corporate, a normal enterprise, do not do n number of conference in a day. So the cost of a hardware-based MCU is always huge. To invest in a for 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 minimum use of a conference, to invest lots of money in a hardware-based conferencing system for a corporate is not a good task. So when VMR come into the picture, it gives flexibility to invest, flexibility to use. So there are several offering for the commercial model. So we'll not talk about the commercial model right now, but it gives flexibility to to corporate to use the system. How it works? Anyone with a meeting URI and a laptop, desktop, smartphone, or from a physical meeting room can join a virtual meeting room. It's a BOID concept nowadays. Bring your own device and you can join from any device to a conference. Now you need not to be present in a boardroom to join a meeting.
So what kind of URIs are there? Are they similar to an email ID?
These URIs are the similar to the email ID, like it will be xyz at the rate your FQTN, like taracollab.taraspan.co.in.
Okay, similar to that. So it's very easy. You just type a URI and you are into a VMR. Just need a PIN and ID.
Yes.
Excellent.
PIN is there for the security. You can enable the PIN or you can disable the PIN anytime. So client have flexibility to enable the PIN and set up the PIN anytime.
Okay, it depends. So it's very much like as it is shown in this picture, you know, from any device, anywhere one can join in.
Yes.
Just with a URI and more login details if required.
Yes. We will see, Varun, you know, when we do a video conferencing system 5 years before, we have to first check the compatibility of our system with the third-party system we are doing with the. My client might not be using the same system I'm using.
Exactly.
So
Just now, difficult.
Now that was a trouble for a employer, for a company, but that is removed now. The simply I need not to see what video conferencing system is third party is using. I simply dial and it is interoperable with any legacy system or as well as a new system also. So
as I can see, you know, I can use my smartphone to get into a virtual meeting room through a web browser.
Absolutely. You can use the smartphone, you can use iPad also.
That's excellent. Yeah. And it can be done through our desktop or laptop or from third party system as you said.
Yes.
Again, the process is very simple and similar.
Yes. The good part is that nowadays, you know, laptops are coming with SD cameras, and we can get a seamless quality in the from the laptop also. Even that some mobiles and some smart devices are coming up with the SD cameras also. We need not to present in front of a SD device in the boardroom. That is excellent.
It means your boardroom is there in the cloud.
Yes.
You know, which is accessible to everyone. One don't need to find out time to, you know, schedule a meeting and be there at that time. He can take the video call from where he is, from whichever device he is on, right?
Very true. So it is, it's as I said, that anytime available conference, you know, you need not to have a dependency on any IT manager or in the boardroom. If you want to do a conference with your client, you can collaborate anytime. You want, you know, if for example, there is a IT company, they are collaborating for a document, they can simultaneously collaborate in a document.
Excellent. Yeah.
Within a click.
Right. I've done that. I know. Yeah.
So now we'll see the technology behind the VMR. The key component of virtual meeting room is software-based MCU, endpoint, and network. A multi-party control unit is essential part of any multi-party video conferencing infrastructure. It is same as it was in the hardware-based MCU. It connect multiple media stream into a single video conference. It handles session setup, management, and transporting between dissimilar protocols. Sometimes, you know, I have a video conferencing equipment which understand the SIP, and my client has a video conferencing which understand S.323. So MCU play a very vital role in between in that condition actually. So transporting happen in the software-based MCU. Endpoint. Endpoint is very important. It's a vital part of a video conferencing solution. You can hop on a call from a smartphone, laptop, desktop, from a boardroom. There is a flexibility to join from any endpoint.
Right. So from smartphone, laptop, as we just
any
talked about,
device.
Any device.
Browser
just need to have a camera and a mic.
Yes. A network is also a major component. You know, bandwidth is an essential part for a video conferencing.
Right.
Although a codec like SVC, SVC++ help us to adjust the video quality as per available bandwidth.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very important. Yes, I can see the network, especially when you are in a country like ours where, you know, not very high bandwidth is available at every time.
Right.
So a solution should be able to run on a low bandwidth network also. And that's, I think, is a plus point with VMR.
Right. So often we see that a 2 Mbps to 6 Mbps link required for a HD video conferencing system. The introduction of a SVC codec, it's adopt picture quality as per the available bandwidth. That was a problem with the hardware-based MCU system.
Right.
We need to fix a bandwidth for a video call in hardware-based MCU, but
exactly.
it's not there. Right. So deployment models of VMR. There are various deployment model available. It's very flexible system. Mm-hmm. It give you flexibility to join video conferencing from any device. It give you flexibility to deploy in any hardware. It also give you flexibility to deploy at geographical location.
Right.
So first is a VMR as a service in public cloud. In any public data center, you can host the solution and provide the services to client. That is one deployment model. Private cloud deployment. When we are talking about the cloud, so it's very common nowadays. But some companies like BFSI, they are very particular about the deployment of their server and their services in their on-premises because of the security.
Right. So they create their own cloud and want their software to be installed there. Yes. Not on a public cloud.
Yes. There is two methods for that actually. One, if they host their service in data center, so we can create a separate cloud for them in a same data center. But if they want on-premises deployment also, that option is there. That is the next point. Right. So on-premises deployment is also there. If customer want that they want deployment in their own premises and they want to set up in their secure zone or DMZ zone, they can do that.
And what is this hybrid
deployment? Is the flexibility to deploy multiple node in various location. If I want that my internal customer will come with a DMZ zone only and my external customer will join from the public. So we can host that service at the public side, and we can host another node in the private side also.
That is excellent. So it gives the flexibility to use the existing infrastructure and scale using the cloud infrastructure. That is excellent.
What values does a VMR deliver? VMR can deliver a multiple values to your business. Benefit, there are lots of benefit to deploy and use of virtual meeting rooms, on-demand video calls. We can, as we were using in hardware-based system, on demand, we can create an on-demand video conferencing call. We can set up on-demand video conferencing call, or we can set up a unscheduled video conferencing call. We start anytime. Personal meeting rooms. That is a very new concept. Like in our visiting card, there is two components always there. One is our email ID and one is our mobile number. So these are the two unique things available in our visiting card.
Right.
But after the introduction of the VMR, a personalized meeting room can be a part of a visiting card.
So the URI which we were talking about, or a VMR ID which we were talking about, we can use that on our visiting card, very similar to the way we use email ID.
Yes.
And anybody which has my VMR ID can invite me, join my virtual meeting room anytime. Right. Just like he sends an email. But when he sends an email, he has to wait for me to reply.
Responses.
But with VMR, I'm available to him anytime for a face-to-face discussion.
Yes.
And that is excellent.
That is the beauty about the solution.
Right.
Content setting is also, now video conferencing is the old thing. Now video collaboration, we talk about the video collaboration. Video collaboration is content sharing, video sharing and all these things. So it is available generally in VMR also. Scalability is
I think Krish, some of our invitees are asking us questions. So everyone, we will be taking up your questions at the end of the webinar. So please bear with us. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, we'll go through the scalability.
Yeah.
The scalability is the most important part. Where we got stuck in the hardware-based MCU. When we increase the port size in hardware-based MCU, cost increased dramatically.
Right.
Here, what is, because it is a software-based solution, what we need to scale only the hardware. So that hardware, the number of cores, number of RAMs we need to increase, and we can go to n number of ports in the same software. So that is a scalability option available with a virtual meeting room or a software-based MCO.
That is excellent. I mean, nobody knows at when they begin how much the system would scale,
Right.
because the growth is also um, disruptive these days. Sometimes it
Right.
comes in burst. So a scalable system is always desired by everyone. Yeah.
You might need not a very high port MCU in initial stage, but as your employee strength increase, you can go for a high number of ports that time. So it give you flexibility to add port anytime.
Yeah. So these two, especially interoperability and device independence, these are my favorite benefits of a VMR solution.
Right.
I can use any solution, and my attendees can also, my invitees can also use any solution, any device. They can join me through Skype. That is an excellent part. What is this active participation?
Active participation is in a virtual meeting room. Everyone participates equally, which lead to lesser distraction and more involvement, very much like live meeting. In
Right.
traditional video conferencing room, inactive participants tend to engage in other things on their laptops. Chat option is also available there. If you want to say silently something, you can chat in a group, and you can also chat with a particular person in that group available for the video conferencing.
I very much agree with you that in regular meetings or regular calls, generally who is speaking is active, all other are doing
Yes.
regular stuff. So yes, a meeting, face-to-face meeting always brings in participation and key interest from all participants.
Right.
And what is this personalization?
Personalization is you can personalize your virtual meeting room when we talk about the URI at your visiting card. So you can also personalize like welcome greeting, welcome
Okay.
to Varun's VMR.
Okay.
So you can also
Alright.
give, yes.
So it's a good tool for a marketer like me.
Yes.
I can promote my brand through the video.
Yes, you
conferencing
can
tool.
put your brand picture also. You can also put your photo in a welcome
And I can
page.
use my logo.
Yes, you can
my
also
color
use
theme.
your logo, right?
Yeah.
And you can also customize the branding. You can also put some information in front page.
So messages can be customized.
Messages can be customized.
That
in
is
a
excellent. Right. That is cool.
Our VMR solution and scalability. We also talk for the scalability, but we'll talk in detail in technology aspect. Our VMR solution, we provide scalable, resilient, and interoperable virtual meeting room solution for all size of enterprise. Either it's a 10 employee organization, or it's 1,000 or 100,000 employee organization. So all these things are there. HD video, major browser support, audio only calls, content sharing, and chat. So these are the major functionality of a virtual meeting rooms, which generally commonly use. So what is the architecture behind it?
And we support all of these features.
We support all of these features. We can talk about it. If we talk about the video, in video, the protocol like S.323, SIP for content sharing, S.239, S.261, S.263++, S.264, S.264 SVC, that is used by Link, Skype for Business, RTP, Link 2010 and Mac 2011, yes,
protocols.
and VP8 for WebRTC.
That is cool.
And RTMP also for outbound streaming. So if you want to do streaming from your virtual meeting room, you can also do the streaming from your virtual meeting room.
Oh, that is excellent.
No dependency on the third-party streaming solution.
That is good.
We talk about the audio. It supports major protocol G711, G722, G7221, G7221C, Serene 114, G729, G729AB, and all. Web browser support. It supports major web browser like Internet Explorer, Apple Safari, Google Chrome, Mozilla, Firefox, Opera, and many more. So
I'm aware of Google Chrome because that's what I generally use, and I've used Apple Safari also. So I know it works very well with these two browsers at least.
Yes, the VP8 codec is generally developed by Google actually. So it gives its best performance in Google Chrome.
Okay,
Yes.
that's excellent.
For presentation and content sharing, it uses BFCP and S.239 RDP VP8
All
web
right.
codec. Yes. For instant messaging, it uses SIP simple. Between the compatibility, it's not like that if you are talking about the VMR to VMR only. You can do IM between Skype to VMR also.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not just a video between Skype and a VMR. Chat can be done between Skype and VMR.
Skype and VMR.
And can document sharing be done between Skype and VMR?
Yes, it is possible there.
That is interesting.
Because both of the platform using the same codec and all the codec and the codec it's supported by the both of the platform.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
its handshaking
Yeah.
is very easy
Very
to
easy.
clean.
Right. And because of these APIs and
Yes, APIs and SDKs are available for rebranding, and you can integrate it with your PBX system also. If a SIP enabled PBX you are
Right.
using for audio call only, you can go for a API integration and SDK integration also.
right.
Provide conferencing and gateway services for voice, video, and data. So there are several deployment options available. So for gateway purpose, like earlier MGCP used, so we can just deploy a gateway there to integrate with IPPBX and some UC solution.
Right. That is good. Okay, that's a complex architecture. Would you like to explain
That's a very simple architecture, but we are trying to say in that picture actually. So
Okay. Okay, yeah, it's very simple. I can
yes.
see now.
You can see that the software MCUs are placed in the several location. What a software MCU will play a major role to do all these things. You can connect with your scheduling provisioning tool also. Video call control tool you can also connect. You can also connect with Link. You can also connect with VoIP PBX. WebRTC is there. External PSTN connectivity you can do in software MCU. You can also connect it with recording streaming. If you want to do a recording and streaming of your system, you can simply connect it with the recording streaming software.
Wow. So there are so many things it can do.
Yes.
And so many players it interact with.
Yes. The below side is the application side, and the above side, if you'll see, these are the front end side actually. The
Right.
client side.
Yeah.
You can see the video endpoints they are connecting with the software MCU, Microsoft Link clients, then soft client, phone, telepresence system, even a high definition telepresence system, browser based client web RTCs, phone, mobile devices.
So yes.
So everything is there. I don't think so. Anything is there. It's not covered into this.
Yeah, everything. Yes, it interacts with everyone and it does everything in the back end.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a truly scalable solution. We can distribute our system like there is two things in the software based MCU is the conferencing node. We can deploy a conferencing node in a separate physical location where it will distributed architecture. What is the benefit of a distributed architect? It's provide scale and resiliency. Like if my one server capacity is full,
Yeah.
no option to upgrade it.
Right.
I can simply deploy another server and connect both of the server.
Right.
Within a click, my scalability go up.
Right.
Reduce WAN bandwidth usage. I can deploy multiple conferencing node. I have an office in Delhi, I have an office in Mumbai, in US, in London. I can deploy a London conference node, US conference node, Delhi conference node. The user coming from London will join the conference node in London. User coming from the USA will join conference from the USA. India user will join conference from the nearest node.
Right.
So by that way we can reduce the WAN bandwidth usage.
That is excellent.
That is unique in the
It
industry.
puts a limited pressure on the network.
Yes.
And that's also a cost saving. If you're saving on bandwidth, you're saving a lot of money also.
Yes, the country like India is a bandwidth still is a higher side in price.
Yeah. For us, it's an issue. So it's a clear advantage
Right.
over regular conferencing solutions. So, and it can support 100 nodes. That is an excellent
that is
thing.
a tested actually 250 node in a lab tested.
Okay, so in coming future
there is because it's a software based solution, there is no restriction of the scalability, only the matter of the hardware
Right.
we are deploying on.
Right. That is excellent.
True interoperability is a main feature of a virtual meeting
I
room.
agree. I
Why
completely agree.
one will go for a virtual meeting room, will prefer the virtual meeting room over the hardware-based MCU because of the true interoperability.
Right.
Link 2010, Link 2013, Skype, WebRTC, SIP, H.323 system, and telephony system. We can make a call to any system, need not to depend any external gateway and all. So it's very easy to do a video conferencing through a VMR. So that's why VMR is the future of video conferencing system. We need not to spend money in the user training for a traditional video conferencing system, how to use a video conferencing system. Again, if you will see the cost of a video VMR, it is less than the AMC cost of your hardware based video conferencing system.
Great. Girish, this is excellent. I'm sure, everyone by now would have easily understood what VMR is and how much value it actually delivers a lot of value, how much value it delivers, and how much interesting this concept is and how much productivity this entire solution can bring in. And thanks a lot. So, before we take up the questions, let me also pitch for ourselves, because we already have an attendance of our guests. So we just do not provide video conferencing. Video conferencing is an important part of our unified collaboration suite. There are much more to it. So we are an end-to-end player in this entire space. We provide unified communication solution designing and post-sale support with an option to deploy anywhere on cloud or at premise. We can do contact center solution designing and deployment and post-sale support. So we are in this entire UC space. And why we are different? Because we have this expertise to take care of end-to-end things. We have a patronage, as I said earlier, also of more than 100 customers across different verticals like hospitality, healthcare, IT, enterprises, corporate houses. So it's like been there, done that. We have this capability, and since we have partnerships with globally successful platforms, so we know our products are also proven. So, you can reach out to us anytime. These are our credentials. So thanks a lot again, Girish. So let's quickly take up the questions. I see a lot of questions here. So let's see how much we can take up in this discussion. Let me just pull down the list of questions. Okay. So the first question is, how is it different from Skype?
The technology behind both of the platform is almost similar actually. Both work in the HTML5, but Skype, the current version available with Skype is again the will stretch the point, the interoperability. We offer you the interoperability with any third party legacy device, a new device, a telepresence system, any type of system. So that interoperability differentiate us with any other system.
All right. Great. So I'm taking the next question now. So what minimum bandwidth does it require for conferencing? Yes, an important question. Yeah. How much?
There are advanced codec available with VMR. So if we talk about a good video conferencing system, it's totally depend on the quality of the video conferencing and the quality of the camera. When we talk about the HD video conferencing, a 1080p video conferencing, it required minimum 2 Mbps bandwidth. When we reduce our resolution to 720p, 1.5 MB is sufficient. When we go for SD kind of a quality, then 512 bandwidth is okay for that. When we are doing from the mobile and the VGA camera simply, so it also running 256 kbps.
All right. Yes.
But the thumb rule is that the higher the bandwidth, higher the quality. Yes.
That is obvious, and everyone should accept it. All right. So here goes the next question. How many maximum conference it can support?
There is no limit of a maximum conference. It's totally depend on the deployment. What is our deployment scenario? Generally, a mathematical calculation of the port support is that one core of a server with two GB of RAM, it support 2 HD video conferencing. We will reduce the quality, it will support 4 HD video conferencing. If we will do from the VGA, it will go up to 6 video conferencing. And if we will go for the audio only, it will increase again.
Okay, great. So I'm taking the next question. So let's take the latest question. Uh, okay, how much will it cost for 1 hour video conferencing?
See, Varun, our commercial offering is something different actually. We are not charging per hour basis.
Okay.
Cost is very important thing. As I already told you, the cost of a VMR is always less than the AMC, per year AMC of your video conferencing system.
Oh.
We'll charge per VMR unlimited for number of participants actually. Let's suppose for the 10 participant in a virtual meeting room for unlimited hours.
All right. So the pricing and everything is completely different,
Yes.
and so more details somebody can find out by getting in touch with our sales team. I think they would be knowing about the
that will be a right platform to know about the costing actually.
And yes, one should talk to sales guys because they are the best guy in terms of commercials, right? I completely agree with you. So let me take another question. How do you take care of latency?
The SVC and SVC++ codec is developed to take care about the latency part. What happened in hardware-based MCU, if will not get a desired bandwidth, the call will get disconnected or disrupted. In the similar way, if you are using the SVC and the SVC++ codec, if we are getting a low bandwidth, it will automatically reduce the quality of that video conferencing. The call will not get disconnected at any point of time.
Okay, that's good. All right, so let me quickly. So I see a lot of lot of questions being asked. Let me quickly, because time is running out, ask you one final question. And guys whose questions are not currently being answered, you can anytime post us your questions. We have already shared our email IDs in the deck, which will be uploading soon on SlideShare also. You can anytime reach out to us. So because of the time paucity, I'm taking the last question now. So the question is again on the quality. Will there be an impact on capacity if resolution changes from HD to SD?
Yes, we already covered that, in the technical detail part. If we'll go for a HD quality, we talk about the hardware prospect. If we are using a hardware with a 6 core of a hardware for deployment of a software-based MCU, so it will support up to 12 party video conferencing at a time simultaneously. If we will go for the SD conferencing, it will increase up to 24 automatically.
Wow. Excellent, and thanks a lot, Girish. It was very informative. I can sense by the questions being answered and by the participation I see. I'm sure I appreciate your time a lot, and I'm sure others would also be appreciating it. Yeah. So great. So for everyone, I'm sure you would be excited after going through the entire deck about VMR. Would be excited to see the entire thing, uh, how it works in actually in front of you. So if you want a demo, or if you want to understand the entire solution more in detail, as I said earlier, either you can reach out to our sales team or you can reach out to us. We'll be happy to do that for you. And as I said earlier, also I would be uploading the entire video pretty soon on YouTube, and we'll be sharing the deck on SlideShare, and obviously we'll be sharing the links with you shortly so that you can refer it whenever you want. And if you want, you can share this presentation and video with your colleagues who you see would really like to get information about VMR. Thank you everyone, and thanks Girish once again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Thank you.